Hey, this is Carson Templin, and you are listening to Married to the Game, best podcast around.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Married to the Game, Carson Templin's favorite podcast, as you heard in the intro, one of the best ones around. Bronco Mendenhall has also said he likes it.
Rumors have it.
It's been a while since we've recorded an episode between illnesses and lots of schoolwork, such as life in college. We have made it through the regular season and are well into the NCAA tournament now. If you're a Utah State fan, we've made it through the entire season. And that's what we want to talk about today. We're going to start by recapping Utah State's incredible run through the conference tournament to become conference champions of the Mountain West in 2026. We're going to talk about Utah State's comeback win against Villanova in the first round of the tournament and pushing Arizona to the brink in the second round. Utah State really made them earn that one. And then, unfortunately, we're going to talk about Jerrod Calhoun leaving for the job at Cincinnati, going back to his alma mater, and we're going to discuss some potential candidates and where the Aggies go from here. But starting off with the Utah State Aggies, they were looking a little rough there at the end of the season. Last time we recorded an episode, things were going downhill a little bit. Lost 3 of their last 5 in the regular season, and then managed to turn it around and tear off 3 straight double-digit wins in the conference tournament to win the conference championship. Zach, what were your thoughts about that conference championship run that we had this season?
It was definitely incredible to watch because at first, you're starting to stress. You're like, is this the same team as last year where they were losing by double digits at the end of the season? They happened to lose momentum by the time of that tournament, and then when it came to March, they also lost that momentum that they had the whole season. So it was nice to see when they went to Vegas, they were like ready to play. And honestly, it seemed like they had a different game plan. Like they came in playing differently, rushed the tempo. They still did their three-point shooting, which were great some nights, and sometimes they didn't get it, but they were pushing the ball down the court a lot more, working down at the rim. It was awesome to see, and it felt like a new team with a new energy to win. And I think it changed the game for sure for them in Vegas.
Yeah, I think that was the first thing I noticed too, was maybe it was easier to tell in person. We were there at the semifinal and the championship game. And Utah State, when that team is able to get out and just run, they're going to score a lot on you. They've got that defense forcing steals into turnovers, and they're working down the other side of the court. It was pretty awesome. And then Utah State, so they win the Mountain West Championship. They get screwed by the selection committee. They get a 9 seed, which is ridiculous, but also isn't uncommon for Mountain West teams, just due to the fact that Mountain West teams not named San Diego State have historically not done very well in the tournament as of late.
It's unfortunate.
But they play the first round game against Villanova. It's kind of a dogfight that first half. Second half gets off to a really bad start. We get down by 10, and then we come roaring back and end the game on an incredible run to take the victory. Kimball, what were you thinking as you watched that game?
It went as I expected, right? Villanova's a good team. They're an 8 seed for a reason. Again, a 9 seed for us was a terrible seed line, and I think we showed it by being the only lower seed to be predicted to win their game. And then we go and we win by 10. It was a very impressive game. The team looked very complete. There wasn't just one man trying to carry the entire team on his back. It's just everyone played well together. Elamine had a phenomenal game.
Yeah, he played himself into a high major NIL deal with that game.
Yeah,
that was the game where it was kind of yep, he's gone.
That's the country took notice of what Utah State has known all year, is what we got from that game. But it's what I expected. I expected a close, hard-fought game, but Utah State was just the better team at the end of it.
Yeah, and Villanova hit 14 three-pointers. 52 of their 76 points came from those three-pointers. It was pretty phenomenal to watch, but thankfully Utah State outlasted that. I thought Mason played incredibly well. MJ played incredibly well. And that's kind of been the thing for that team all year, is when those two play well together and both score over 20 points, Utah State's going to win every single time.
Some good patience, too, because that was a rough shooting game for the Aggies. They only went 2 for 16 on the 3, so...
Yeah, and that's what ultimately killed them in the next round against Arizona, is they just couldn't get that three-point shot to work out until it was too late. They got it down to a 4-point game against Arizona, like arguably the best team in the country with about 3 minutes left in the game, and then just didn't quite have the size, and were kind of on the wrong side of some really clutch basketball plays to put it away for Arizona. But I think we can take pride in knowing that we didn't just get steamrolled. You know, we almost came back and beat them. So
I saw multiple Arizona fans commenting and giving big props to Utah State for having them, like, worried and on the ropes, because most other one seeds were all, like, cruising through most games, winning by 20+. So I was just praying we don't get blown up by more than that, and and I think obviously Utah State is, I would say, probably the second best 9 seed in this year's tournament, because Iowa actually went and won their second round game against Florida, which was an incredible upset. It was awesome. That to them then, yeah.
So I would say it probably goes Iowa, Utah State, St. Louis, TCU in that order of 9 seeds. But I definitely think we deserve to be a 7. I for sure think we should have been on that 7 seed line. Would have maybe given us an opportunity to still be playing basketball and prolong some things that ended up happening the day after this game, which is that Jerrod Calhoun has officially taken the job at his alma mater, Cincinnati.
Which, shocking, but not too shocking.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if I speak for you guys, but what I will say is here at the podcast, at least, we're thankful for everything Coach Calhoun has done for Utah State. He was the second largest NIL donor last year, actually, which it's kind of a problem, but we're also thankful for that.
But I mean, like, think about that for a second. Like, the head coach is putting more money into his own team than anybody else, almost. Like,
yeah, no, he put $150,000 into the team.
Name another coach in the country that does that. Name one. Go ahead, try. Name one.
Yeah,
I guarantee
I think that's incredible. You can't tell me. I've seen a lot of people on social media saying they hope he crashes and burns in Cincinnati, hopes things doesn't work out for him, that he never did anything for Utah State. It's like the guy did everything he could. You know, he was all in the entire time. Phenomenal recruiter, phenomenal X's and O's coach. Just a good guy, too. But
gave us the best draft class that we've had in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, end of the day.
A recruit class, but still. It sounds like he'll be going to Cincinnati for 6 years with his contract for $3.7 million per year.
Yeah.
So Utah State will be getting a payout of almost $4 million from buying out of his contract. So
had Calhoun stayed, I would be eyeing the Sweet 16 for Utah State. I really do. He's a good enough coach. He would have gotten us a big man. He would have maintained, like, players would have stayed for him. He would have been able to go get the centers that we've been lacking, and we would have been better than we were this last year, and we were just off of the Sweet 16. That's why it sucks to lose him so much. I'm happy for him. He gets to go on to bigger and better things. Unfortunately, that leaves us behind. But, I mean, Calhoun was a great coach. Hands down the best coach in the state this year. I mean, the success Utah State had this year, like, needs to be noted. Winning the Mountain West in the regular season and tournament, winning a tournament game. I mean, 29 wins in a season. Utah State has only beat that twice in their program history. Twice. And so, like, one of the most successful, if not, I mean, it's probably top 3 most successful seasons in Utah State history. So props to Calhoun and the team for that one.
Yeah, what I'll say is, obviously I've been a Utah State fan for a little bit longer than you guys have. And regardless of who's the head coach, this team just keeps performing and keeps putting things, putting out positive production. I think Utah State, regardless of who's the coach next year, is knocking on the door of the Sweet 16.
I think they're knocking on the door of the tournament.
I would disagree, because I think they're going to have that $4 million buyout from Cincinnati that's going to go towards NIL and the new coach. Whoever they hire from, I bet you they most likely hire either an assistant from somewhere else, potentially BYU's Chris Burgess if he wants the job, or UVU's Todd Phillips.
Possible.
A couple of names. They also could go other places. Wherever they go, that buyout's probably not going to be super high. I would love that guy at Utah State. Not going to be super high. I genuinely am like, I think there's like a 90% chance Mason Falslev's staying in Logan. I really don't think he's going to leave Logan. I know Carson Templin's not leaving Logan. If you could see the way he was interacting with those fans coming out of that team meeting yesterday, he's sticking around for his senior year.
If Falslev leaves, we are screwed.
Falslev leaves, we're
done.
We're potentially screwed. That depends again on who we hire, because we hire High Point's coach. I want him to bring that point guard Rob Martin with him, but that's a whole different can of worms we can open as the offseason goes on. I think if this Utah State team can retain most of its guys, it's obviously not going to retain all of them. You never do when a coach leaves. Mm-hmm. If you can retain most of your guys and just get a center that's over 7 feet tall, I think this team's going to be right back in that conversation of like second round threat, potentially even the Sweet 16, depending on how the season goes. But I guess, Kimball, where's your hesitancy?
We're going to the Pac-12. We're going up in. We're not winning the Pac-12 because Gonzaga is going to win it, and so we have to get an at-large bid, which we would have gotten this year had we been upset in the tournament. But I just don't see – to get an at-large bid, I think we'd have to be the same caliber as we were this year.
It's going to have to be a 25-win team probably.
And I don't know. Like, I don't know if I see it.
Although, if you look
I don't think we beat Gonzaga.
If you look at the WCC, that league got 3 teams in the tournament this year. And it's because their profile is raised so much by Gonzaga. That's what having a national power does for your conference is.
But also losing to them like 3 times in 1 year is not going to like.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't think we're going to probably lose to a whole lot of teams outside of them. I mean, San Diego, maybe we lose once.
Better to lose twice to Gonzaga than twice to UNLV. So
that is true, and we did do that this year.
I agree. Like obviously Falslev has to stay. If Falslev is not on the team next year, which again I think he stays, you can book it right now. We're not in the tournament. I just don't think we can replace all of that. Falslev is legit. He's so good. We can't afford to lose him, and I'm scared. I don't think we can get a center, because if I'm a 7-foot center, I feel like where you're so valuable and rare nowadays, it's like you want to go to a team with stability, not to a team that's like getting a brand new coach, unless he has a connection to that coach, obviously. But that's why I'm hesitant. Like, I could see us going to the tournament. I wouldn't be surprised, but I would be very, very surprised if we hit a Sweet 16 run.
One thing I'm thinking about that we need to replace is when you look at the guys that are leaving because they're graduating or possibly could, they could transfer, but let's just think about those that are graduating. We know for sure will not be here again. You're losing Drake Allen. You're going to need a point guard who can handle the ball. You're losing Gary Clark and Zach Killer. So big men, obviously, we need to take care of those. But also, MJ Collins, you need to find a scorer, someone who's going to give you 17 a game just like he did. So you're missing some pretty big pieces. Utah State was almost top 30 in assists per game in the nation. So we need someone who can definitely help out with that for sure, too.
Listen, all I'm saying is Cam Walker's a smart dude. Brad Mortensen, the university president, is all in on athletics. They're not idiots. They're smart dudes, and I think with the money that they will have, I think the kind of coach they hire can get us back to the tournament next year. I would say pretty confidently that we're going to get an at-large bid for next season's tournament. Beyond that, when Falslev and Templin are gone, I don't know what happens then. Yeah. Really quickly to wrap up the episode, though, I don't know if you guys have thought much about it. We've kind of thrown around some names a little bit throughout this episode and, just previously having conversations. Who would you guys like to see Utah State potentially going higher? We'll start with you, Zach. Is there anyone that just jumps off the page? If there's not, that's fine too.
There's definitely a lot of opportunities where they could go. They could do something from the Mountain West, like we have seen that kind of rotation happen a little bit. Now that we're going to move away from the Mountain West, we could probably pull someone from there and not have it be too, weird of a situation. I don't know. I think
I like the Mountain West route, though. There's some guys in the Mountain West where I think if they come to this caliber of program, they could do really well. Obviously, I think the first call is going to be Eric Olin from New Mexico. I think if he wants the job, it's his job to take just because he's such a phenomenal coach. New Mexico fans might burn down the city of Logan if that happens, if we take another coach from them.
Be a little upset.
It's kind of an outside choice. I know a lot of Aggie fans who maybe see this or would hear the idea would maybe poo-poo this. I actually wouldn't hate the idea of maybe Josh Pastner from UNLV. He knows how to beat us, so he probably knows what our weaknesses are.
Pretty defensive.
And I think you put him in a mid-major program. He's been at the high major level before. He's been at Georgia Tech. He didn't do so well there. But you put him at the mid-major level with a team that actually knows how to play basketball, and he might be okay. I think the other one you have to look at is the in-state route. Because if you're worried about this continual revolving door of coaches coming and going, the best way to stop that, I think, is to hire somebody that is either from the state or the surrounding area, doesn't have an alma mater that's a lot bigger of a program than we are, and just kind of knows the ins and outs of Utah and what makes the state of Utah so great and so unique. And take that comment how you want. I think most people will probably know what I mean by that. But
I was going to say, that's who I want.
I think you got to go take a good, long, hard look at Todd Phillips from UVU.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I think he's the kind of guy that he's shown that he can consistently win in the WAC. He hasn't made the tournament with them yet, but neither had Jerrod Calhoun before he came to Utah State, and he was at a similarly sized Youngstown State program before he came here, out in the Horizon League.
And here's the thing with UVU is they're back-to-back regular season champs without being the best team in their conference. Like, I don't care that they won the regular season this year. Cal Baptist was the better team. Daniels, so much better than anyone on UVU's team. Grand Canyon was way better than UVU last year.
Well, that showed in the second half of that game.
And it's like, but UVU won the regular season and hadn't lost a home game in 2 years. I don't know if we can really count this NIT game that happened in Orem.
They're counting it in Orem.
Either way, it's like
it is what
he
it is.
was dominant with a lesser team in his own conference. He just needs a star on his team. Mm-hmm. You bring him here and give him Falslev. He's got his star. He's already got the consistency. That's what Utah State needs in the Pac-12 is a coach who can consistently win regardless of how much better the other teams are. Yeah. And obviously UVU was the second best team both years. It's not like he had a bottom team. But I want him, honestly, because if we can't get New Mexico's coach, right, that would be great. Or, hey, Gonzaga's coach, give him a call.
You make Mark Few say no. You offer him the whole school.
I was going to say, give me UVU's coach. Like, I genuinely think he would succeed here. Does that mean we're going to win the Pac-12 year one? Probably not. Like, could we within 5 years? I don't see why not. He's consistent, and that's what I want.
Well, hear me out here. Here's a little bit of an exciting idea. You've already got Falslev and Templin, right? You've got some exciting guys, exciting whites, if you will. That's the meme. There's a small forward, power forward hybrid who plays basketball in Orem, Utah. His name's Jackson Holcomb.
He's a Utah local.
Leading.
Maybe if his coach is willing to, the guy that took a chance on him at UVU, maybe he's willing to come up to Logan for a year or two.
Say he would actually be a great addition.
He's the wing player we've needed. He's going to be a good replacement for Elamine. Advin Elamine, if you're watching this and you stay, I will make sure you never buy another soda in Logan, Utah, or the general vicinity of this valley. It won't happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways this could go. Chris Burgess, BYU, he's their lead assistant. They could hire him.
Holcomb's a sophomore, so you'll get a couple of years from him too, for sure there.
Yeah, you talk about Flynn Clayman at High Point. Dude's kind of a psychopath, but, he knows how to win basketball games. This was actually his first year as High Point's coach. He was an associate coach there before that. So, yeah, a lot of good options for Utah State. Comment down below, though, who you want to see Utah State hire as its next head coach. I've heard a lot of different names, some realistic, some a little bit less.
A little hopeful.
Yeah, make Kevin Young say no. Give him what he wants. Make Kevin Young say no. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't want
Kevin Young, if you actually want to advance in the
That might be a hot take. I don't want Kevin
I was going to say, if Kevin Young actually wants to, if you ever want to go to the round of 32, give us a call. We'll show you how to do it.
I think Kevin Young's a little too invested in his fame of getting his players to the NBA than he is getting his team to win. That might be a hot take.
If you want to hear more about that hot take, watch the BYU episode for this week.
Tune in.
That's going to be us for Married to the Game, though. If you know anyone who loves ball, send this to them. If they also just want to see Zach and Kimball's handsome faces, also send it to them. Hit the notification so you know when we post, and we'll talk to you later.